Praise the Lord, everyone. Thank you for tuning in with Dr. Leisha, the preacher. Okay. Well, this video is very important to me. Before this year is out, I felt like I owe it to my first mother in law. She passed away about a year ago. About a year ago, she passed away. She was good to me. My first mother in law was good to me. I want to go as far as to say she taught me a new way to love. She taught me, I already was a loving person and open to, most people. And, I was already in there, in that zone. But she taught me to love pretty much everybody, no matter what. If nothing else, she was very supportive of my marriage to her son. It's like she guided me, you know, in that relationship. She guided me. She was, offering, she knew her son, you know what I'm saying? She knew her son. And she guided our love, at least for me. She knew he was like his daddy. She knew he was like his daddy. So she knew the love that was going to be needed. She knew what her son needed, as any mother would, right? So I followed her lead. I did with pride. And she was a great teacher. She was just so open and loving. I mean, she loved anybody. She didn't care how bad you were. I just watched her love people in life, and it didn't matter how. Of course, good people are easy to love. Well behaved, quote unquote good people. That's easy. But the way she loved people that were not considered good took me to another level. All I could do was tilt my hat to her. She was truly an earth angel. Now, granted, I may not have been, I don't know either way, but I may not have been her son's pick. I may not. I would never know because she treated me so good, even if I wasn't what she wanted for her son. I never knew. I never knew. I never knew. In fact, when I met her son, hopefully this is not too much information. Hey, stay married to people if you don't want your business out there. I'm just saying. But anyway, when I met her or him, when I met him, he had, a girl living with his parents. A girl was living there when I met him. My first husband was a hot mess. He was a football star at college, and he had all the girls. He had all the girls. And I one of them silly, foolish girls, one of them pick me's. I'm a pick Leisha. My name is Leisha, Dr. Leisha the preacher, and I was a pick Leisha. I ain't shame. I was a pick Leisha. Pick Leisha. Yeah, I was like pick Leisha. But anyway, so when I met him, he had a girl living with his parents at home. He's away at college. We met at college. We met at college. So, he specialized in white girls. He loved them white women, y'all. He loved them white women. But he married black. He has married 3 black women. I was the first one. I be converting brothers out here, okay? So, anyway, she had a white girl living with her when I met him. And at college, he had some business going on with a white girl at college too. I won't go on to all that, but he had something going on with a white girl at college. So, and then here he is meeting me when his life was falling apart. His life was falling apart. He had this girl at home, this girl at college that was in trouble, and and then here I come. I can like, oh really? Wow, that's sad. I just feel like it had nothing to do with me. Whatever you got going on with these other women don't have anything to do with me. That was just my position. I'm here at college to here to have a good time, and you seem fun. I'm here to have a good time, and you seem fun. I'm on birth control. I ain't getting pregnant. I don't need to move in with your parents. None of that shit. Whatever you going through with these white girls, it is not gonna be my issue. So, so we start dating and stuff. And the first year, we just friends. You can see who you want to see, do your thing, whatever, whatever, whatever. The first year was just getting to know each other. I'm pretty adamant about that. You know, you gotta have time to get to know the person raw. You know, the first year I am not your girlfriend. You are not my boyfriend. We're two people hanging out having fun. Like, hey, like nobody's business. So, I got to know, his family and he got to know my family and all that. That was cool. All that was good. So after the first year, he wanted to get serious. He wanted to get serious. Okay. So I'm not that much of a pick me shit, but in a way I am. So so after the first year, we started to get serious. And then when that year was over, after 2 years was spent, we were married. To me, that's reasonable. So he had 2 years to kind of clean his life up a little bit. Although he didn't do it a whole lot, he still was, playing around. He was. But he made some sacrifices here and there, you know. And again, I just wanted a career and a husband. And so if my husband was gonna be out there doing what he do, I really didn't care. I just wanted a career and have a man to come home to. Period. That was my goal in life. And I was told by an eighth grade teacher to find your husband in college. So I did. Oh, Domino's is here. Pizza, pizza, pizza. Hey, we got pizza. We got pizza. Oh, the smoke is coming out the bag. Whoa, he is cute. A fine white boy. Okay. I need to contain myself. Okay, so anyway, whew, um, so yeah, but at the end of the day, when he and I got married, his whole family seemed happy. I mean, his entire family welcomed and greeted me. And I really felt like I was a queen among royalty. And it's not that his family was all that in a bag of chips. They were from the South, you know, just from the South, factory workers, kind of like my life. My people are from the South and factory workers. That's a typical Michigan thing. We're from Michigan. I think his family, his mom, they were not born here, neither of his parents were born here. So technically, my husband, the first one, he's a first generation born here because neither of his parents were born in Michigan, Michigan. So I am a what? Second generation. My parents, my mom was born here, my daddy wasn't. My daddy's that country. He was from the South. My daddy was born here. My mom was born here though, in Michigan. So anyway, so to me, we were equally yoked. Number one, we shared the same Pentecostal apostolic religion, which our parents didn't. Our parents didn't. That was something between he and I. Okay. And but she and the whole family just embraced me. So basically, guys, the reason why I was able to play, even though I was the first wife in my second marriage, just real quick, even though I was the second wife, no, the first wife in my second marriage, um, and his birthday twin was the family's favorite. You know, his birthday twin was the family favorite. So that's why I didn't have to be jealous of her. When I realized that, okay, I'm not the family pick, I'm his uh rebound. Really, I was his rebound. But I'm still the first wife because I'm always going to be in the first wife's club. The first wife's club is important to me. That's important to me. Whatever. So I'm still the first wife, even though she's the family favorite, his birthday twin. So I didn't have to be jealous of her because I was already a family favorite, you know, in the first marriage. And I divorced. I walked away from my royal divine spot. That was me, my error. My error, guys. My error, my mistake. I admit that, okay? I admit that. And I think this might be my first time doing it too, you know? So, yeah, my mistake. I probably should not have divorced, even though I had permission, according to our church rules and stuff. I did it the right way through the church, because I already knew if my pastor said I couldn't divorce, I was not. And he was not the kind of man that divorced people. Not no women anyway. He didn't divorce women. He believed in women suffering, suffering through marriage. So, but he let me out, and I was like, peon. I couldn't even stop to think. I just darted out. Better safe than sorry. So I thought. So that's why I didn't have to be jealous, the second time around. Hey, whatever. And I just went along with the program, you know, and really I kind of earned my way up because I ended up being pretty important in the family. I mean, they may never admit it or give me credit or nothing like that, ever. But at least I know I did. And they can't deny it. I got pictures and videos and I got proof of how effective I was in the second marriage. But back to my mother-in-law in the first marriage. She not only like guided me as a woman for her son, and I was all in, all in. I mean, she was everything I needed in a mother-in-law. Everything. I had not one complaint. Not even one. Even even though he cheated on me and married the woman he cheated on me with after, you know, um, I was still treated well. I don't know what the relationship she had with the second wife. I didn't really try to find out. I didn't care. It was none of my business. I just know that she treated me well. And my children were special. My children and I were special in the family of the first marriage. So much so till a second, third, fourth, fifth marriage, whatever, down the road. I'm not claiming all that, y'all. I'm just saying, to the point where whatever conditions I suffered through after that, you know, I was going to endure it because I've already kind of experienced, being the princess. You know what I'm saying? I experienced princess treatment. My first mother in law, rest in peace, I named our second daughter after her. Our second daughter is named after her. Our second daughter is the one that looked most like that side of the family. She looks more like them. And she, represents the family well. She do. She just like them. She just like them. That's my baby. She just turned 31. She's still with me. And everything I have, is going to be left to her and her sister. I don't have a whole lot, but I will. But even if I pass today, I'm leaving my kids enough. They don't have to kiss nobody's ass because I'm dead. Yeah. So, but yeah, because she treated me so well, it made me feel like a real daughter. Even though I knew she loved, those white girls before me. She loved them white girls. I know she did. And even though she, may have been good to the second wife after me and she had kids and all that, you know, but it did not take away from what I built with her. And that's what she taught me. She taught me that she can have relationships with anyone she wants and still treat me like a queen, treat me like the princess daughter, whatever, her daughter in law. And I felt it. I really did feel it. It will last me a lifetime how that woman was. And when I was pregnant with our first child, okay, pregnant with our first child, my first husband was in Desert Storm. He was he started off, I think, in Japan and then was shipped over to the Philippines during Desert Storm. So my entire pregnancy, the first child, he was gone. But his mom fed me every day greens and cornbread and whatever she cooked. I ate good. And she was so good to me. I got an apartment. I was too proud to actually live with her because I was leaving college. And so I had to graduate and then move to their hometown. I didn't want to move to my hometown. I wanted his family to help with this baby. He's away at war. This is our job. And she was like, and then his dad, oh my God, his dad, it wasn't even just her. His dad treated me like he actually took up for me at a restaurant once. Okay. He took up for me at a restaurant. And I was like, oh, wow. So again, I was very special in that family. And I felt the love, and, she was good to me. And I just, before this year leave, I just had to give her her flowers, give her honor, acknowledge her. Um, and because of her love, to this day, um, I am forgiving of her son, been forgiven. He and I have had opportunity to talk things out, not real deep because he don't go that deep, but as deep as he could talk things out, we did it. Okay. Now I can write books on, how deep we should go, but he gave me this much and I took it. So, and then, our daughters are, that's their dad. That's their dad. And this is a forever bond. It's a forever bond. And I will always care about that family, and that family will be special in my heart. Um, I have no problem with being like brotherly, sisterly with their dad. You know, um, I have no interest in ever really ever being in a relationship with them. Because of how things ended. I'm not trying to hold it against them, but I have to have boundaries. I can't let someone be harmful to me and think it's okay to come back later. Okay. So, but as far as being forgiving and friends and cordial and raising our kids and grandkids the rest of the way, if he wants to be more involved, cool. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. And his mother set that tone. His mother set the tone, and not just her. The father was good to me too. He was good to me. He actually taught me how to drive on the highway. I mean, I was driving on the highway, but not well. He actually taught me to do it well. There's a difference. My stepdad taught me how to drive in general, you know, but I didn't require a lot of highway driving during the time that my stepdad taught me. My stepdad taught me when I was like, what, 14? Yeah, I was 14, 13, 14. And, but my first father in law, he's the one that taught me how to drive on the highway, because he was, that's, anyway, I won't go that deep. But I just wanted to give my first mother in law um, all the love and acknowledgement. She really taught me how to love her son. She guided me through that. And even when it ended, I left. Um, she called me and told me she understood because she had to divorce his dad. Or wait, did he divorce her? Or she divorced him? I don't know what happened, but they ended up divorced, and she let me know that she understood. And, she didn't talk bad. She was just supportive from day one all the way through. I just don't remember ever feeling bad. I just don't. And I never felt like she made me compete. Mm-mm. She never made me feel like I was competing with other women or nothing like that. She just made it very clear. I have my spot and can't nobody take it. And it's not, you know, don't worry about nobody else. I was like, okay. And then she proved it in her own marriage. She practiced what she preached to me. She did. And I learned from her experience. I learned how to be a winner, based on her example, you know? So based on her, when I did get married the second time, and it didn't take no time to realize I had made a mistake, it didn't take no time. But I learned from her that you got to endure something. Pick a man and endure, you know? So that's why I did it the second time, you know? It's sad that I couldn't endure with her son. I couldn't for whatever reason, but at least she gave me the blueprint to be able to endure the second time. And because she did, I'm able to spend the last 5 years. Well, my alimony payments, the monthly payments last 5 years, and the 5 years is not up yet. But the point is, because of her example, I'm able to recover from that horrible marriage. And Most High, granted me 5 years to be able to just collect alimony checks and relax and just chill and truly recover, build my YouTube channel, reestablish my relationship with my kids and grandkids. Those are the top relationships that I had to recover. I lost all relationships pretty much to a degree, lost communication, lost the ability to see these people. My own kids and grandkids, I could not see them for a couple years because of that second divorce was that bad. It was like it was, a mission to cut me off from everybody. Well, I had to let the chips fall where they may. When someone is that determined to be destructive, you just have to stand back, let them do what they're going to do, and then do damage control. Good thing I have a bachelor's degree in industrial and environmental health management, OSHA type stuff. When it comes to disaster relief and recovery and all that, remediation and all that, I understand all that. So I had to let that ex husband leave in his own way, which was very destructive, like a Tasmanian devil. So he did all that ruining relationships and stealing girlfriends from my daughter. And and all this crazy stuff on the way out. I'm like, it has taken like 2 to 3 to 4 years to recover relationships with my daughters, to recover relationships with my own grandkids because of this man. All I could do was stand back. Us pick Leisha types. Ooh, child. We're like doormats, and other people just come in our life and just, wreak havoc. And well, I've learned now that he's gone and all that storm activity is gone. I'm recollecting my kids, recollecting my grandkids. Now, anybody outside of us, it may or may not come back. I don't know if these relationships will come back or not. I don't know. I'm talking parents and best friends and all of that. All that went gone. All that left with him. And now I don't think he had anything to do with it either. He may call them sometimes or, something like that, but not no lasting relationship like I would have had with my own parents or my own best friends and stuff like that. I would have been forever with these people. He he off with the new woman. Do you think the new woman gonna be letting him? No. She stole him from me. So she's always gonna be, you know, watching her back because she know how she got him. When you know how you got a man, you know how you can lose him. So if he cheated with you, he'll cheat on you. So remember how you got him. Remember all the times he was sneaking. So I can tell these other women, they gonna turn around and do it to you. Duh. So, but sometimes it do work out though. I will admit there are situations where somebody cheat on somebody, go on and marry the next person, and everything work out just fine. I don't think it happens often, and it may be few and far between. But I have to put that clause out there. But for the most part, from what I've seen, historically, I'm 55. So historically, that shit don't work. It's just a matter of time. What he did to me don't happen to you if you don't beat him to the punchline. Because sometimes you can start seeing the signs. I'm like, oh no, he ain't gonna do this to me. I'm gonna go out there. That's usually how I go. I'm just saying. But I thank Most High for my first mother-in-law because she helped me get to the finish line in the second marriage, where I was able to spend 5 years on alimony, just chilling and relaxing, recovering. I cried a lot, and I don't cry no more. I'm starting to laugh now at the stuff I went through. You know, where one time it was deeply disturbing. The stuff I was going through, deeply disturbing. But now I'm able to look back because I'm so safe now. It's like 5 years out. You know what I mean? I'm able to laugh at this stuff now and thank Most High that I'm delivered. You know. So I'm thankful for my kids and grandkids. And I know I will meet new people, but I don't want to be overly committed to anybody else anymore. Just have friends like my first mother in law taught me. Be loving and kind to everybody. Everybody. Why not? There's no reason not to be. You know, the only exception, the only exception right now in my life is that second husband and his woman, his wife. They were just too sneaky and deceptive unnecessarily. It just wasn't necessary to be that evil. It just wasn't. I'm a nice, loving, kind person. I was open to all his other women. All of them. She just had no idea how many I've had to deal with. She ain't the first. She know that. She know that trust. But it may be a while before it really smack her in the face. You know. But I'm thankful. Thank you, first mother-in-law. Rest in peace. I know she is. She lived a good life. She loved so many people. She helped so many people. She fed so many people. You know, I mean, like so many people have lived with her. And I'm proud to have been One of the people in her life who helped her out, she had a grandchild that she had to raise, and I helped raise that grandchild for at least 5 years. Oh, four, more like four. Let's say 4 years, 4 to 5 years. I raised that grandchild, and I felt so proud to be able to give back to someone who gave to everybody like it was easy. She, you know what I mean? She helped and loved people and gave to people like it was easy. And I'm gonna be honest, those 7.5 years that I got to be her daughter-in-law, kind of thing. We were married 5.5 years, but we dated too. So those 7.5 years where I was the one, um, I don't remember her ever yelling, raising her voice. She was just always so calm, happy, just a active, strong, hardworking woman. I'm not even a fraction of the woman she was. Not even a fraction. Although I'm in there now. I'm in there, but I'm not even a fraction of what she was. My first husband was very blessed, you know, to have her as a mother. Now that don't mean that his childhood was easy or didn't come without issues or I'm not saying that because when you the kind of person that love everybody and got your door open to the world like she had, ain't no telling what your kids go through. I know what my kids went through being that way, you know. Um, but your kids learn how to love and um, be open to. And you have to teach them boundaries. That's the difference, the boundary thing. Yeah, the boundary thing. I think Most High expect for us to be open nets as believers. That's why we down here. We ain't down here to just be partying and buying a bunch of stuff. That ain't why we down here. They have the biggest, most expensive houses and drive the most expensive cars and have the most parties and friends 24/7. That is not why we down here. Can we do that stuff sometimes? Heck yeah, I do sometimes. But that's not why we are here. We're here to cast those nets and be fishers of people that need their soul saved. So yeah, we're gonna have our doors open to people that are broken, who will probably come in our house and cause some damage. But Most High restores. Most High restores. So because I lived a life where I opened my home, my heart, my life to broken people, even though I knew they would cause damage, but I know how to handle evil. I know Most High, through Most High, not me personally. I'm just a 90-pound, 95-pound woman, a black woman from Detroit. I don't carry any weight in this world. But I do know that, yes, everybody wants a nice, safe home that they don't have to worry about nothing. But on this earth, that's not what this is about. It's gonna get ugly down here. It's ugly here, and shit gonna happen. And you know, I raised my kids as best I could, giving them what they need. But we had open doors. We had open doors, and a lot of risk comes with this type of lifestyle. And I believe because of the experience, that's why Most High want me to have a church. He wants me to be involved with running a church on some kind of level because of the life I've lived. And I learned that life from my first mother in law. I learned that from my first mother in law. So I believe she contributed to me being to even wanting to have a church one day. She is the reason I learned how to be open. And even though the sugar baby overstepped her boundaries and basically took my husband. And even though he secretly left me for some white woman that I've never met and will never meet, even though all this has happened, it still hasn't closed me up. I cried and I felt hurt and pain. And I've been on here, I went through that. But I'm still open. I still want a church. And I know the people that come in the church gonna be broken and they may cause some shit. Well, hey, bring it. Somebody dealt with me. People have dealt with me. No matter how good my record may be, meaning that I don't have no criminal record, I don't really have no driving record. I mean, my record is clean in this life. For real. But I'm just saying, regardless to that though, regardless to that, you know what I'm saying? I didn't been through a lot of stuff. I've been through a lot of stuff and have endured, and I'm willing to talk about it, share it, and pretty much based on all that I've gone through in my life, molestation, rape, um, being cheated on, lied on, cheated, all kind of stuff. I done been through it all. So when people sit at my table, I just be like, okay, so what we gonna do? I can tell you what I did. I can tell you what's in the word. We know what's in the word. All kind of crazy relationships is in the word now. The word, the Bible is full of craziness, crazy relationships, people enduring their belief, enduring the faith, obeying Most High, building generational wealth in the kingdom and on earth. Thank you, first mother in law. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You taught me. I mean, of course, my family, loved me and taught me love and stuff. And I'm not, you know, trying to take away from my family. I'm not. I'm just saying the way that I needed to love in order to have a church today, it started with her. And it also started with the pastor and his wife that married us. They're no longer together and all that. They've had, divorces and marriages and all that. But the couple that married us, between them and my first mother in law, they really set the tone for me to even be on this YouTube channel. Even though the second marriage is the reason why I started the channel, but they are the ones who set me up to become a future pastor of a church, whether I'm married or not. Most High want me to go and do it. It ain't got nothing to do with me being married or not. This is between Most High and me. Because Lord knows I tried the marriage thing. He know. And he know the men on this earth. And he know what man, if there's one, that will work with me in partnership in the church, But I don't think it's always needed. As long as we have men in the church, deacons and other people, security and all that, things should be fine. You know, I remember in Detroit, Martha Jean the Queen. Martha Jean the Queen out of Detroit. She was a divorced woman, opened up the home of love. She had her own funeral home, and she would be on the radio talking her smack. And she had a large following and was a single woman, a solo woman, a divorced woman, and she had a large following doing her thing. And I ain't mad. So, you know, I'm not gonna put that pressure on me anymore to have a co-pastor that's a man. I'm not gonna put that pressure on myself anymore. And just know that I have a strong foundation. And I know that my first mother-in-law contributed to it. She again treated me in a way that what is that on my hat? Seemed like something went on my hat. It was weird. But anyway, so she just treated me special. So that when I went into my second marriage and I saw who the family was treating special and it wasn't me, I had to make a choice. Do I want to stay here or do I, like, well, where else can I go? At this point, I walked away from that treatment. I should have stayed where I was at. Since I didn't, I'm here, no problem. At least I'm the first wife, I'm getting all the benefits. Even though the family like her more better, even though the family like her, she ain't gonna get the benefits. I'm the one with the benefits. I got the certificate. So I made that shit work. And because I, endured all the crap, which I was gonna go through crap in the first marriage. Trust me, that first husband was gonna rake me over the coals. I knew it. So, but for some reason, I just couldn't let it be him. I couldn't let it be him. So, if I was gonna suffer like that to no end in a marriage, better the second husband than that first one. You know, his family did not deserve for me to stay there and just be treated like trash for years and years and years. His family did not deserve that. I left. I didn't deserve that. I mean, of course I didn't. But I'm just saying none of us involved deserved that. And I felt it. I knew it was coming. I felt like we was gonna be physically fighting and all kind of stuff. You got to just feel it. It's an energy, a spirit. And no matter how much I prayed and tried to cast it down and all that, until he wanted to do it, it wasn't gonna be done. So I didn't want my daughters and I to suffer that hard with him. I had no idea what we were getting into, but whatever it was, I'm glad it wasn't with the first husband. And I want to thank again my first mother in law for being everything that she was. She was that foundation. I mean, she laid that foundation in me. We lived close. But she's gone now. And I wasn't invited to his dad's funeral back in the day. And I don't know if anything was held for my first mother in law. If it was, I wasn't invited. So um, that's what happens when you divorce. You lose all those type of access and rights. In my case, in my case, in my case. So there are a lot of people who go through divorce and they still, have access. Well, I don't have that kind of luxury in my life. I don't have access to the access. I don't have access to their families. I always make a clean cut and move on so that the next family can, feel like they have, you know, space in my life and not competing with the exes. You know what I'm saying? Or their families or none of that crap, you know? So, anyway, I believe in giving a woman her honor, giving her flowers. I did while she was alive. I was a good daughter in law. I helped her raise one of her grandchildren until the divorce. And it's funny because I had told my second husband, well, I have a daughter, from first marriage that I couldn't keep. I mean, if you just gotta have somebody, can it be someone that already love me? You know, nah. Men. So anyway, we end up, adopting other children that he could feel that were his and not connected some other man. And that's fine. Whatever. I did it. It just wasn't appreciated. He felt like he was entitled or I owed him that. So that's why he couldn't like treat me like I was doing something special for him. He didn't treat it like it was a sacrifice, the greatest one of my life. He didn't treat it that way because he felt entitled, owed. His father told him that, you know, what are you getting out the deal? Why he was walking around with two families. He had a whole deal, so that's why he could say that. He had two families like that. Wow. So anyway, all right, and it's so funny because the other woman that his dad had, he had a baby, outside the marriage. She had the same name as me, Lisa Bland. That was weird. So I'm glad I didn't fully take on that name, not fully. My name was hyphenated, because I like being the only one. Okay? Being first and only. First and only. So, okay, guys, let me get on off of here. I love my first mother in law. She really made a difference. She made me feel special, even though I knew there were others. She had a way. And not only just make me feel special, but guide me. She knew her son and she knew what I would need to be successful. And but again, once I had kids, it was kind of hard for me to keep that energy. I changed once I had kids. I developed standards. My standards went way up. But then I met the second husband. He brought them way back down. I'm like, dang. So when I come back up this time, y'all, I'm staying. I ain't letting no man bring me down. Nobody. Not this time. I've learned. I know I'm all old with it, but hey, better late than never, right? And I'm taking this time to recover, and I ain't rushing to do nothing. And I ain't even let the last few men. I only dated like 2 men. Since my husband left me 5 years ago, I can count on one hand how many times it's less than this many times how many times I had sex. I haven't even had sex that much in the last 5 years. I can count on one hand. Even though I dated, I wasn't just throwing it out there like that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I don't do that. I know how to please myself where I don't have to just put myself out there for any and everybody. So that's the kind of pick Leisha I am. That's the kind of pick Leisha I am. Yeah. Once I am picked, oh, I'm going to, work it. I'm going to work it. Okay. So, yeah, one of these days, I pray that I'll get honor in my flowers. You know what I mean? You know, and I'm planning my own funeral. I already got my spot picked out and all, so and I want to have it all paid in advance. Now, my burial spot is a vault. It's above ground in a vault. And I think I got Dr. Leisha on there already. Dr. Leisha Lewis. Yeah, I think it's on there. Yeah. So it's already on there. My name's on there, just not no year, ending year, 'cause I'm still here. And so that's already paid for. That was like $5,000 for me to buy that vault. So that's gone. And I need to, let's see, uh, go to like a funeral home and find where I want to be, viewed, I guess. Um, and find out, find out. That's something that my first mother-in-law taught me. She told me that she had paid for burial spots and all that stuff at that time, but that's none of my business. But when my time come and I got the right money, Imma have my own service for her. Imma have my own service because I don't know what they did or didn't do. It's none of my business. I'm not his wife anymore, you know. But when I have time, I'm going to give her my own service. And then I'm also going to she has a great grandchild that doesn't have a tombstone on the grave. So, which is my very first grandchild didn't make it. It was a stillborn. Caden is not the first ever. He's not the first ever. There was Lanaya Janelle. I gave her my middle name. So Naya passed away, she was still. So, but she still had to be delivered. She was induced. She was in induced delivery. We had to actually funeralize her. So I do have a grandchild out there that's buried, but don't have a stone. So the next time I get some money, I'm gonna put a stone on there. Then I want to have a service for my first mother-in-law because I don't know what happened. I wasn't invited to the second husband. I wasn't invited to his mother or father's stuff either. He was still with me and didn't let me go to his mother's funeral. He was still with me. But anyway, so the dad, of course I wasn't invited there. He already left. The white woman probably went. So mm, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I have not gotten all that I'm supposed to have gotten, out of these marriages, but hey, I got what I got. But I do say that that woman was good to me. She was good to me, and my kids, had good things to say. As she got older, she changed as she got older. We all do. But in her heyday, mm, she did it. And I'm proof. I have nothing bad to say about that woman. She was good to me, 100%. And not too many women can brag about their mother-in-laws at all. You know, the second one, I just was married to her son. She already had her favorite, which was his birthday twin. She just didn't want to marry him, but she enjoyed being basically her daughter-in-law anyway. And like I said, um, they have a picture together in her obituary. So, you know, every woman live a life the way they want. And all I can say is I'm thankful to that first mother-in-law giving me um, such a good start and foundation to the point where if no other mother-in-law treat me well, at least she did. Thank you to that whole family. The whole family was good to me. It's just that he and I didn't make it. But the family was, they showed up and showed out. I can't complain. I was definitely treated well. Thank you. You don't meet a good woman every day. No, you don't. But she was one. Flaws and all. Wasn't perfect. But wow, I'm only a fraction of her. As far as oh, battery's about to die. Let me go get my pizza. All right. Mwah. To all the good mother in laws out there who treat their daughter in laws well, even after divorce and years go by, when a daughter in law can still speak well, that's great. That's powerful. You know, I don't have sons. Well, I didn't give birth to sons. I didn't give birth to any. And then the sons that I raised, there's no contact. They're with their dad. They were adopted and they're with their dad. So I won't have the pleasure of going to weddings or knowing any daughter in laws and stuff like that. I'm not going to have that pleasure. Again, cheated in this life in so many ways. Hopefully, the next life will be better if there's one. It should be. Hopefully, it's better. I won't have to suffer like this. But this is Earth. How can, I mean, like, but there is a new heaven and earth rolling out, though. Slowly but surely, a new one is rolling out. And in my world, I have to give a lot of credit to my first mother in law. Excellent job. Excellent job. Excellent. All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks for letting me share that. I appreciate it. Bye.